driving up to Dwight Howard celebration.
Yeah.
You played with him for 3 years. Share some of the memories with Dwight when you guys first met.
So with Dwight, man, he's always had this infectious personality, right? Always got a smile on his face, always happy, always dancing, always engaging. And so, like, for me, man, that was right in my wheelhouse. I was probably a little tough on him sometimes, especially after playing with Shaq and guys like that. I came in with that Miami Heat culture mentality.
Give me a Dwight story, man. Give me a story that a lot of people don't know out there that, maybe a funny story, maybe a story of his leadership, something someone doesn't know about him that if they're not with him every day,
right,
they have no idea.
Yeah, I think he's very underrated as a leader. Even though he was a younger player, he was big on bringing guys together, right? So Dwight would organize, Bible study at his house. Dwight would organize the fight parties. Dwight would make sure when we were out on the road that the whole team got together and went out to eat. And so we've had some incredible nights in different cities. If you're in New York, you're going to Philippe Child's. If you're in a city like Indiana, you're going to Elmo's, right, and getting the shrimp cocktail. If you're in LA, he might take us to Katana or Press Station. And so I don't think a lot of people know that about him. He had great leadership qualities. Even though he was still young and still evolving and things like that, he had those intangibles as a leader.
On the narrative. Best in class, so pray for my peers. Slingshot bullet that's clear. Your weak shots couldn't pierce through bulletproof ears. A martyr, a menace. I'm leading horses to drink and pulling teeth like I'm feeding the dentist. On the narrative.
What's up, y'all? This is Above the Rim, the greatest podcast ever with your boy Dwight Howard, where we hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. We got a new one. We don't think no evil at all. But we got a crazy, crazy, crazy episode for y'all today. Oh my God, I can't believe it, you guys. Our first live episode. We are here in Orlando, Florida, where it all started.
Let's
for your
go.
boy. Woo, woo, woo. It's gonna be a crazy time, but before we get started, I want you guys to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, let everybody know what you think about us being back home in our old town, your comments, your favorite memories, put all that in the comments today. And because of that, I got one of my favorite all-time teammates. He's one of the best teammates I ever had, and not just because of, how great of a person. Everything about him was amazing. The way he spoke to me, the way he had us, the whole team laughing, every joke, the fights, everything that he did. Yeah, the fights. I will never forget that. But give it up, y'all, for number 5, all the way from, how do you say that part of Florida? Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Give it up for Keyon Dooling. Yes.
Appreciate you, champ.
Man, Keyon, thank you for one. I just want to say that I really appreciate you for being my vet, my rock as a youngin', because coming into the NBA, there was so many stumbling blocks and so many things that I didn't know. And you was always a voice of reason. No matter what I was going through,
yes,
you was a voice of reason. And I just really want to say, before we get it kick started and we bring in all my teammates and everybody that came out, just thank you.
Thank you.
And you really mean a lot to me.
Man, Thunder, let me tell you this. So time out first. We got some of our young boys over there, right?
Yeah.
They making more noise than us.
That's okay.
We need Courtney Lee.
Courtney Lee.
We need Courtney Lee to turn it down a little bit.
We live, but we can hear y'all, and the whole TV land can hear y'all too.
And then keep Bogans' voice. Baritone voice having ass boy.
But we started, and Keith, thank you. I know y'all, the viewers, cannot see, but 2 of our loudest teammates, Keith Winnebago Bogans.
Chip Top Lay Bogans.
And Chip Top Lay Bogans and Courtney Lee is in the building. They're going to be coming up, joining us soon. But I'm going to get it back.
No, man, I appreciate you, Dwight, man. Listen, I tell you this all the time, man. Our life is better because you were in it, right? And this is an opportunity to give you your flowers.
You mean a lot to us, right? Sometimes undervalued, underappreciated, misunderstood. But man, like, dude, you that boy. You one of those boys. Of the 5,000, 6,000 players in mankind history, I believe you are one of the top 50 of those.
Thank you.
And so my life is better, you know, because you're in it. Big shout to the BTN Beyond the Narrative, because they're one of our sponsors tonight. They're doing incredible work. I'm a part of that team. Above the Rim is fitting for you.
Yes.
Because one, I watched that movie back in the days.
They used to always talk about it on the bus.
Spreading my, all I thought about was spreading my fingers and flicking my wrists, right? But playing with you, you played above the rim. You know what I mean? And so I'm just so proud of you, Dwight. I know you've been through a lot of adversity. You had a lot of obstacles, a lot of pressure, and you handled it. You never lost your smile. Yeah. You still smile. You smile through hardships, which is something that I can't necessarily do, but you have found a way to bring joy and humor and vigor, right, to every room you go in, man. And so, like I said, man, my life is better because I had you in it. You brought our families together. A lot of people don't know about your leadership style. So I want to talk about that at some point when we kind of go through these cadences. But man, I'm just thankful to be here with you. We want to celebrate you. You are going into the Orlando Magic Hall of Fame. Big shout out to the Orlando Magic.
Shout out to the Orlando Magic, man.
Shout out to the Orlando Magic, you know what I mean, who gave us a lot of opportunities. And,
yes,
you know, look, at the end of the day, like, life has taken us different places, but that time and space was very special and unique.
It was special.
So big shout out to all our teammates.
Yes.
All of the executives and coaches that we were able to play for. Shout out to all the fans.
Everyone.
You know, a lot of them are out there in their Dwight Howard attire.
Yes, thank you.
So just thank you to the city of Orlando for embracing us. And, you know, hopefully in our time and our space, we represent it in a positive way.
I really believe that our time in Orlando was just, it really was magical.
Yeah.
It was magical. And being away from it for so long, the game, the atmosphere, you get a real good chance to self-reflect. You get a chance to go back and, you know, just think about all the moments that, you know, that have happened here. And, man, I was so young coming into the NBA.
The young Thundercat.
I really, going back and look on it, I didn't even know who I was.
Right.
And I'm put into a situation where I'm supposed to lead a whole bunch of grown men. My voice ain't even deep yet.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is crazy. I didn't know what to do, who to run to, who to really talk to. But, you know, I really appreciate just the fact that y'all took y'all time, and y'all was rough on me at times.
Yeah, I know I was tough on you. I know I was tough on you. I apologize if I went too, Biggs, you gone too far.
But I don't think you went too far. I just really think that y'all was tough on me because y'all knew how tough the world was, and I needed that.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it at the time because I'm 18. I'm coming from 16 people in my graduating class. 16 people graduated with me. It was 6 young men and 10 young women graduating from high school. So I go from this little school all the way to Orlando's big.
Yeah.
The franchise, the whole world, this is a whole new ball game for me. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to just latch on to all these, my teammates. They came before me. I'm going to learn something from every single one of them. What should I do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a lot of fun.
It makes sense, Thunder. You know, and just for, you know, for reference, I call you Thunder.
Yeah.
Because you the little young Thundercat to me. You going to always be my little young Thundercat.
That sound like an old preacher.
You know, at the end of the day, you my boy, man, and I got nothing but respect for you. But, like, leadership, man, and we talk about, like, leadership styles. Like, leadership is a process.
Yes.
And it doesn't develop overnight. It's a series of events and experiences, failures and successes that allow you to evolve in the type leader that you are, right? But before you become a leader, there's two things that I believe that you have to possess. One, in order to be a leader, you have to once follow.
That's true.
Right? You have to understand, you know what I mean? Okay, you know what? Let me play my role, my position. Let me learn, right? The second part to leadership is not just about your position. It's about your disposition, the traits, the characters. So a lot of us who are leaders aren't in leadership positions at that point.
Correct.
But you might have those intangibles.
Correct.
The humility in leadership is being able to say, hey, it's not my time yet. That was difficult for you because you had the stature, you had the shoulder size that, like, you know what I mean? Like, most of us couldn't physically beat you in a fight, so we couldn't, you know, physically lead you, but we could verbally lead you, right? We could nudge you a little bit. But, you know, like, one of the most underrated things about you and who you are and who you were as a person at that time is that you had leadership qualities. One of the biggest things that you used to do for us in leadership that most people don't know about, you used to organize a team dinner in every city that we went to. You and Jameer Nelson, another guy who had very big shoulders. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
I used to say all kind of shit, man. I apologize to all my teammates.
Man, you did that to me and Jameer. We was the rookies, man. You was hurting our little hearts, man.
But I had love for you. I had love for you.
You did.
But one of the things that you did, like even before you had all the leadership qualities, you had some of those intangibles. And like getting us together, and if we're in New York and we're going to Philippe Childs, if we're in LA, we going to Katana or Crestation or whatever. If we in even a small city like Indiana, we going to Elmo's and we getting the, you know, the shrimp cocktail.
But why y'all made me pay as a rookie?
I don't think you always had to pay. I think that was a combination of you, Jameer, and Sweet Lou. You know what I mean? Because when Sweet Lou got there, he came with the bag.
He did.
Sweet Lou came with the bag, right?
The Brinks truck,
Absolutely. But what it allowed us to do is it allowed us to have a safe space.
Yeah.
So no matter if you were the 15th man on the team or you were the best player on the team, you came and you broke bread together.
Can you describe for the people watching that's here and also listening, the locker room, but also just the moments that we had away from basketball and how, for us, that was kind of like our therapy, kind of like, it was kind of like the best time of our life was going to practice.
Yeah. Practice?
Practice.
Yeah, man, practice was very competitive. Obviously, when you have guys like Keith Bogans on your team.
Oh, my God.
Who
with
will,
nails.
On purpose, like, let his nails grow like Rip Hamilton used to do, so he could, like, bang you up and scratch you up. I see him over there now. He 200 pounds. But when we was playing, he was about 225.
Yeah, 290, big
But, like, practice was a moment for us to go be competitive on the court. In the locker room, man, we had fun. We danced. We bagged on each other. We encouraged each other. You know, sometimes, you know, it would get a little heated and we would, you know, potentially knuckle up, you know, with each other. All those different things. He was
the culprit.
I was?
For y'all, he was the one that was always fighting.
I was the troublemaker? Look, my resume done followed me, y'all. My resume done followed me.
It was so, for me as a young buck, I'm coming from a situation where it's a small school. All the games is packed out, and the atmosphere is different. Like, everybody is hyped for every game. And then when I get to the league, it's just like, all right, we got a game today. We got another game in 2 days. The intensity seemed like it was different, and that was new for me. I didn't understand that coming in. I wanted everybody to be just as hyped as me coming in, and that was like a real big adjustment. Just even in that, I was used to being hyped before the game, clapping before the game, and everybody was like, man, young fella, sit down.
Yeah, you know, one thing about it, boy, you from the A. You from Atlanta, so y'all
One time. Okay.
Right, so you did the Laffy Taffy and the walk it out you extended that version because you was doing that 3-4 years after, you know what I'm saying, that like song and stuff had played out.
That was the only thing I knew how to do.
But the thing about like in the NBA, right, because there's so many games and it's so relentless, it's hard to like replicate that youth that you had, right? You went straight out of high school. You didn't go to North Carolina, right? You didn't go and, you know, go to college and all that stuff. Like, so every game that you played, like you had this childlike excitement. Yeah. Well, like a lot of us were seasoned vets who had injuries, who have children at home, you know what I'm saying? Like who have had adversity in their lives, right? And so we were more focused on being professional, right? It's not the excitement. It's like the application of doing your fucking job. Or you'll sit on the bench, or you won't make money, or you'll be out the league. So for me, you know what I mean? Some days I'll walk it out with you, but some days I ain't want to be bothered because my hips was fucking hurting.
But see, as an 18-year-old, I'm not understanding that.
Because y'all don't feel shit at 18. You recover faster.
You're right, but for me, I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm in the NBA. I'm playing for the Magic. I used to watch Penny and Shaq. I'm on the team now. Like, I'm happy as hell for every little moment. Didn't matter what was going on. I was so happy because, like, this is my dream. Like, it was nothing else I could think about besides making it to the NBA. So when I got here, I was like, bro, I'm finna be so hyped every game. I'm gonna try to touch the top of the backboard every time.
You got pictures probably kissing the rim.
Yeah, that's
Dwight Howard. I jump high. You feel me? But here's the thing that like a lot of people don't understand about the NBA experience. It's not just about us, right? It's about the people around us as well. And a lot of times, you know what I mean? It's not just us. It's everybody else. And we have to manage so much that we're not equipped for at that age. And so like when you're a vet, you've been through a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we have to be a little bit more serious and no nonsense because everybody is using, you know, manipulation, you know what I mean? Expectation, entitlement, you know what I mean? In order for us to serve them. And so sometimes that could take and suck the life and the energy force out of us, right? And we don't know how to say, no, we're not equipped. You know what I mean? It's not, nobody has done this before us. It's only 5,000, less than.
Actually, it's 4,800.
4,800 in mankind history.
In the history of mankind, it's only
and you're part of the 1%.
That's crazy. That's how tough it is and difficult for you guys at home watching, the people here listening, to make it to the NBA. It's only 4,800 players that have ever played at least one game in the NBA in the history of the game. So this percentage is crazy.
It is.
Just to be able to make it to the NBA is a blessing in itself. To thrive in the NBA, to play more than 2 years, is a blessing in itself.
It
to
really
play
is.
longer than 5 years is a blessing.
It really is.
To play in the NBA for a long time and come out of playing and still have your mind is probably the biggest blessing of all.
Have your mind.
Have your mind, because playing in the NBA comes with so much. You could lose your mind.
It does.
You could lose your mind.
You know, literally, you know, I mean, I've had my battles with mental health and emotional health.
You really lose your mind.
And a lot of times, man, like when we're hooping, at every intersection, you have to be flawless. You have to be perfect, right? So you don't get an opportunity to process your journey, right? You don't have the emotional intelligence to be able to set boundaries and things like that. So
why do you think that is? Do you think it's just we was misguided?
No. I don't think we were misguided. Man, our families and our communities did the best that they could do with what they understood. And every generation has to push it further, right? We have more access to information. We have more access to communication. We have social media. We got programmed. Thunder, a lot of people didn't go through the programming and things that we went through.
That's true.
So we have a different perspective. A lot of people have not gone outside of their communities and gotten different learning styles and techniques and communication patterns. So we have to understand that our experience has been different from a lot of people in our family.
That's true.
So I don't fault them for that. They don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't saying misguided as far as family. I'm just saying misguided as a whole, because for me coming into the NBA at 18, I just feel like I was not properly prepared. Like as far as even going from school, learning about finance, learning about anything dealing with the NBA, I was not prepared for it. So coming into the league, I'm like, dang, what is this? How do I use this credit card? How do I understand this money manager account? How do I understand having a CPA that's different from the financial advisor and having a bank doing this with my money? Like all this stuff is new to me. And so I'm getting so much information overload. On one end, I'm having players saying, hey, don't tell nobody your business. Then just don't tell nobody the NBA Players Association your business. But you got to have somebody to talk to. I'm like, dang, what do I do? Do I just don't talk to nobody?
Yeah.
You know, but then it becomes like you alienate yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a very difficult position to be in, especially at a youngin', because I'm looking at y'all like, dang, what do I do? I don't know none of this. These some grown
you know
men.
what, Thunder? You had a thick skull. You ain't listen.
I got
all the
little
time.
ears, man.
You see
Look
me,
at
Bones?
my ears.
Hey, you know, yeah, you did.
Look
you
at my ears. I can hear now better. Like now, I heard the other day I heard a rat piss on cotton back in the room.
I feel you.
But back then I couldn't hear for nothing.
Yeah, it's a complex, you know, because your teeth is bigger than your ears. So you know what I mean. You can chew better than you can hear. But let me stop. Let me lay off you, bro, because you know you're my little young Thundercat.
So I was really bad at listening back then.
No, you wasn't bad at listening. I think that like it was hard for you to receive information because like you were so much better than all of us, right? You know what I mean? And like I always say, man, like leadership is not about your position, it's about your disposition. Mm-hmm. And so like it's timing, it's maturity, it's experience. Like, you know, some lessons you get later in life, but the seeds are planted early, right? And so hopefully we planted good seeds. I see our OG, triple OG, big homie.
We do got our triple
Steve
OG.
Francis just walked in the building. Come on up, Steve. Please come on up, bro. God. Hey, boy. What's up, OG? What's up, Hammer? Hey, Hammer. God, no, boy. Good to see you, boy. Look at old Steve. God, dog. He still got them calves, Dwight. He still got them calves. He still got them calves, champ.
Hey, everybody listen up. We got Steve Francis. He doesn't
Franchise.
know the franchise. He don't know that we live right now and on air, but we got Steve Francis in the building. I am so thankful to have him as one of my teammates. When he first, it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
What's up?
They got your OG.
They
They got your triple OG. Look at them Chiefs, boy.
Oh, you know where they came
I
from.
see you. Where you with them? You with the Columbia?
Nah,
Y'all realize we still on air?
Oh, my
Well,
bad.
my-
I just
my-
ain't seen my big homie in a long
Y'all gotta
time.
keep going with the show.
That's my
I know,
dog.
listen, this is where the youngin' can teach y'all old head something. When we
So
on
when
live, we
I
gotta
got
stay
my
live.
gangster girl,
Y'all talking about something cut, check, pace, do all that. Now when we on live,
Go
we
ahead
gotta
and
stay
segue for him,
going.
Thunder. Go ahead and segue, champ.
But it's all good, baby. We got Steve Francis here, man.
The only reason why I ain't
Thank
bring all
you,
my
Steve.
jewelry out because I knew you was gonna bring everything out. I just
You
bought
know
my
he
Jesus
will.
piece out.
You know he will.
I just bought my short Jesus piece out.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
retired
sir.
everything.
Please,
Where's
for
Kato?
man, hey. Big
Hey,
guy.
Kelvin
You
Cato.
parrot?
How
OG.
many cars he got?
Man, listen, shout out to Kelvin
Yes, sir.
Cato. I know we just got
Hey,
Steve
look,
up
how
here.
many cars Kelvin Cato got?
Kelvin Cato had more cars than the Jaguar dealership.
Big Kato.
Every single car you
So
can
one
think about.
day, I thought I was flexing. I bought my Phantom out. I was like DJ. I was like, oh my God, I just have a new Phantom. It's 2030. Cato put up with 100 cars.
He did.
How many?
100 cars.
Damn.
Like for what?
So look what DJ saying. What DJ saying right now. So I'm gonna tell you this. Cato had a beef with Dwight because he from Atlanta.
Okay. But
yeah.
Dwight used to say he was from Latonia.
And that's why I used to mess with
Don't Southwest Lithonia.
Okay.
My parents, my family lives in Southwest Lithonia. So every time I came, I said, well, Dwight, you know my family lives in Southwest Lithonia. He used to get mad. I used to get mad. You parent. And Kato was like, I was like, well, Kato, Dwight is really from Southwest Lithonia. So Dwight, Kato was trying to rough Dwight up, and I was like, Kato, who you talking to, champ?
Yeah, that's the future.
Dwight, he about to go fed on.
Yeah, that's the future. That's the future. But Calvin Cato, for me, man, was a good guy.
Let me let y'all know this, man. Dwight was one of the best. Of course, the DJ. I ain't gonna go fed, but I had an opportunity to play with 3 best centers in the world. Mm-hmm. Hakeem Olajuwon, Dwight Howard, and Yao Ming. I'll let that sit right there.
Yeah, you can sit that right there.
All my men had all their stats right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At the time, they took the ball out of my hand. I can't pass it to my man, so I guess it's all Steve Francis. And tell Mac it was a great move for me to get traded. My man Keith Bogans right here in the back, he told me I was going to get traded to Kentucky Derby.
Shout out to Bogues.
Shout out to my young
Hold
fella
on, he
that
said
knows.
something at the Kentucky
Shout out to
Derby?
my young nigga, you know. Bogues got the whole streets on lock. Y'all don't even know that. With no noise, with one finger wave.
That's that DC assault.
DC
you know
assault.
what I mean?
I ain't gotta say no. He ran the whole. So Bogue knows. So Joe Forte tried to play me. I was like, Bogue, who is Joe Forte?
Joe Forte.
George
DC
Stan.
assault again. Curtis Malone. So I gotta. Man, this is perfect. Steve, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
I can't believe I seen you right now.
I know,
Number
bro.
5.
I know, bro. I ain't got no hair. I got a
But
beard. You know what I'm saying?
We going one-on-one. We going fade.
But Steve, bro, like you, Baron Davis, Allen Iverson.
Man, fuck BD.
Damn, dog.
Steve,
But-
hold up. Hold up.
Hold
we
up.
got kids watching somewhere.
Damn,
Shayla.
OG.
And we don't hear no evil
Well,
shit. No evil.
give him
think
the
no
safe
evil.
space.
But he gotta say
my
space.
kids are your nieces and nephews.
But you're right.
Damn. But the reason I brought that up
Dang.
is because like
Now,
the way
when I say
that
fuck BD,
yeah.
do you think BD can see me one-on-one?
Why don't y'all just go play again? Since everybody want to hoop now and play ones
Well,
again.
everybody
We
want
live
that
the old
war.
days.
That's an LA-DC thing.
Oh, I
if
feel
BD
you.
want to see me, BD, you know where I'm at.
I see.
So who winning one-on-one? He said he would body you. You was too
I'm
small.
going to go glass on him. Left
Gotta
hand.
go glass left-handed.
Glass. But the way that a lot of players play and move today
sir. Me
They
and
got
Barry
it from
talk-
is
you.
y'all
So me and
movements.
Barry talk about this
Yeah,
all
the way that y'all
time.
moved and
Yeah.
played above the rim.
Oh,
Y'all
BD?
changed your positions.
That's my nemesis.
So where did all the game come from? Like, cause really watching you play, man, it was so like, I'm a youngin'. So watching you travel sometimes doing full court layups, trying to dunk the ball, watching you wear wigs at the outside of practice. But no, seriously, man, it was a real joy being.
I can't believe I'm seeing Dwight right now.
I know, man. I know that was our baby. That was our baby.
I love this guy.
I was a
shut
rookie,
up,
man.
man.
Anybody say something wrong about him, man, I get the fuck up out this shit.
I already know.
Like that.
I already know.
My bad,
So
bro.
let me stay on. Let me
you,
get us
bro.
back on track real quick, because like we got a few of our other teammates up that we want to. So I want to make sure I extract all the value out of Steve franchise while we have them.
Hey, we gotta
So
get
Steve,
everybody.
number one, thank you for being here.
Keyon, me and you was 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Bro, you the OG. I ain't, man,
You
bro.
the OG
I'm
for real, man.
Bro, you potty trained a lot of us, bro. You brought us out
You
to
the OG
Houston.
for
You showed
real.
us how to dress. You showed us how to
Everything.
conduct ourselves. Like you was ahead of your time from a
And we
relationship
appreciate it.
standpoint.
We appreciate it because I don't think
I
you
love you, bro.
understand,
Can I tell you guys something
Yeah.
about Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson?
Okay.
Yes.
Well, before the draft in D.C., I was getting drafted. I knew I was getting drafted. Woo, woo, woo. So they took me and Jamaica Holscar, my ex-girl.
Okay.
That's that, right?
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
know that? So one day, I was like, what is D-Mouse and Quentin Richards doing on my floor? Why are they on my floor? D Miles say, shit, this D Miles, man. This D Miles, this D Miles.
He had the big chain. Shout out to
This
Dave
D-Miles.
with the big chain.
Yeah, no, they didn't do that yet. But they were young. This is 2020. So we in DC at the draft. And I'm like, who are these young niggas on my, excuse me.
Go ahead, talk your talk.
Who are these young guys on the top floor of me? And I see this guy, and I see Quentin Richards. This is a young fella. They say, OG, go to sleep, man. I said, go to sleep. This ain't for you. They said that ain't for you. After that, man, they ran the league forever, man. And,
shout out to the Knuckleheads,
Shout
man.
out to the Knuckleheads. They got one of the first ever podcasts for NBA
The
players.
one of the
believe.
best
The
podcasts.
first podcast
Knucklehead-
ever to
One thing
start
about the Knucklehead
the
podcast,
OGs.
you will get everything, the truth about NBA basketball, besides anybody saying anything else. But, you know, everybody talk a long miles. And what I want to say to Darius, man, I love you, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm
We
so-
all do.
We all do.
I'm
We
so
wanna
happy
bring-
that the St. Louis, the OG from St. Louis, like when you say
East
St.
Boogie.
Louis, if you
Yeah.
say St. Louis, it's like me saying DC. Nobody move, nobody get hurt.
Yes, sir. So, Steve, let me ask you this. When the white little young Thundercat came in there, right, you got, you know, and you got to play with this little young Thundercat who asking for the ball. Man, throw it down there. Throwing out. How was it, like, adjusting? How did, one, you adjust to his youth? And then, two, how did you unlock that little young Thundercat? Like, because you put a lot of confidence in him.
Well, one thing, when this microphone on?
Yeah, it's
it's
on.
But one thing, when they said they wouldn't pass the ball, and they say dump it in, dump it out to me, I'm like, all right, cool. Y'all gonna play this guy like this. Y'all gonna play DJ. Y'all gonna play Dwight just to wait for the basketball from Southwest Atlanta. This guy got 100 points waiting. So at that time right there, and Dwight, I respect that. As far as me and you going to the All-Star game, I gave it to Grant, because me and you supposed to go to the All-Star game at the same time. So I was like, all right, Grant got it. So as far as you in Southwest Atlanta, I've never seen the best center. He went to every team. Houston, I'm like, gosh, come on, man. Who y'all playing with?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Glass. I went Glass in Houston.
Glass.
So you want to hear what they want to know with Glass, man.
But see, for real, before we bring in one of our other players, I just want to say, throughout my whole career, you are the OG. We learned so much from watching you, good, bad, and different. We went Glass because of you.
Yeah.
And I really just thank you for coming on the show and
Thank
being
you,
here with
Steve.
us today.
Dwight.
They can hear me. I know I got a tight. I don't talk loud no more because I lost my muscles in my shoulders. But it's
So when I was like, Dwight, why your shoulders ain't up no more? I was like, DJ, I called him D. I'm like, Dwight, your shoulders ain't heavy right now. What's going on?
my shoulders not heavy.
So I had to call Clean. It's that.
You had to call Mr. Clean?
Man, Clean.
Pops don't play.
Clean me up in Southwest Lithonia.
He don't play.
And I had to call
Stand
my whole
on
family.
business.
I called my whole family from Southwest Lithonia to
Southwest.
understand.
You did.
They got
Arcade, shout out
they have
Arcade.
flexibility and you know what I mean? All that stuff now. They ain't just got brute force.
Yeah, we got to be able to mix it up.
But-
But we want to bring our next teammate up here, man. I want to give a shout out to this guy. I remember we was flying on the plane one time, and he wanted to tell us a story about how a group of birds will almost hit the plane. And he said, man, did y'all see them pack of birds about to tear the plane up?
Oh.
So we want to give a welcome and a round of applause for Keith Winnebago Bogans.
Boy, it's y'all give it up for Keith Bogus, bro.
Give it up for DC and South's
Look
finest.
at my deep voice ass homeboy. What's up, bro? You know I love you, boy. You already know. You know I love you.
What's up? What's up?
Look at that DMV represented on the couch
We
today,
got, we
huh?
got both of the we got both of the
Absolutely.
DMVs.
We
I
here.
got Bogans. I ain't seen Bo in 100 years.
I know, but you know what? We gotta do better. We gotta do better.
Hey, y'all the OGs, man. Y'all supposed to be teaching me something, man.
We gotta do better.
I remember everything y'all taught me, and it was not conducive to anything in life.
Hold the white.
Oh, yo, all three of y'all.
All three of y'all.
The white. Hold the white.
Listen, I wouldn't have had 5 kids.
The white. I took you
told
to
you,
church.
hold on.
The white. I took you to church with my pastor.
You ain't take me to church. You took me to the other place.
Well, Amy,
The other place where you spend a lot of money at. And you throw the money at.
It's not about capital.
You throw the money. That's the first place y'all took me.
It's not about capital.
They was trying to contaminate me
I'm
the
not taking
beginning.
no responsibility.
Dwight, it's not about capital. The DMV boys. The first time I got in the league, y'all know I was 18. I ain't seen nothing before. No strip club, nothing.
Don't
We
even
go
put me
to
in no strip
Vegas.
club. Hey, look, hey,
No,
Bo, you know
I
what?
gotta say
Hey,
it, 'cause-
Bo, you know what happened? I bought that white Phantom out there.
That's what
what it
happened.
was.
See,
He
I'm
was
gonna
with you.
tell you what it was.
Bought that white Phantom, Bo.
He
They ain't
know.
seen that.
He showed me all the cars. That's why I ended up going to
I
get
don't even know.
95 cars because of you and Cato and Catino Mobley, the
Yeah, I was
Houston
gone.
boys.
I was gone by
You
then.
was
I
gone,
was gone.
Been
but you
gone.
had already did your work. I ain't gonna say what you did. I'm gonna say you already did your work. You showed me a lot of work back in the day. Keyon, he quiet right now because he tried. All y'all OGs,
So
y'all
let
got
me
the
let you
gray
know
hair.
this. Keyon made me be a family man.
He made you be a family man.
Like that.
Okay. He lying.
And
Am I lying, Keyon?
but
Am I lying, Keyon?
so in my
You
defense,
like, Keyon, you like, man, they
Man.
coming at your ass.
Yeah,
Say,
bro.
Sit your ass down.
man, listen, man. You know, if you want to go quick, you go alone. If you want to go far, you got to go together.
Gotta go together.
You know what I mean?
Y'all
Now,
left my
now you
young
saying
ass.
you said I showed
Hey,
you
look,
all this
hey,
stuff.
DJ,
I got 4
DJ.
children, 1 woman, 1 wife, 23 years of marriage.
Understood.
Ups, downs, highs, lows, ins,
I
outs.
don't even want
I'm there.
to say
You know what I'm
that.
saying? But see, that's the beautiful thing about it. It's something that at the time all of us we was in a different place of understanding.
Tough lifestyle, brother.
As a youngin', I'm not able to see the fact that y'all got all this stuff going on because I'm 18, 19 years old. I don't know anything about what it's like to have the
Bo,
4 children.
can I tell you?
And hold up, you know we live, Steve. We gonna get you a shot over there and have you come back in the bed.
I don't need a shot at nothing.
Are you right? You need
I'm
a
gonna tell you
glass
this.
shot.
I'm gonna tell you this. When before I got traded to Houston, I was at the Kentucky Derby with Keith Bogans.
Yeah.
Am I lying? So at that time, me and Teresa McGrady was having a conversation about Steve Francis and the Houston Rockets. So I'm at the Kentucky Derby. Keith Bogans, the man, he said, "Playboy, they're about to trade you right now."
So
Both
you
had
had
the
the
inside
he had the
information.
inside. So he was Shams before Shams.
All right, go ahead. Let him talk about what
You
he
was
said to me.
Shams.
Hey, I just had a little info.
So Dwight, let me
I had a little info.
ask Bose a
Let-
few questions.
Let him. Hey,
Thunder.
Dwight, that's how I found out. Bo said, "You gone, Playboy."
So
Really
Bose,
worked out.
so Bose, so you got an opportunity to play with Dwight on 2 different occasions, right?
Right.
And you came back a different version of yourself.
Right.
Talk to me about what type of teammate Dwight was, and some of the things that stuck out to you most about Dwight.
One thing about Keith Bogans, he's the most famous player in Maryland. Don't get it twisted. Not me. I never played basketball in Maryland, but this guy
I
is
can
the
say
most
this about
famous
Dwight.
guy from DeMatha High School.
I can say
Absolutely.
this. He was a kid when he came in. He was a big kid. Used to like to have a lot of fun. Everything was always funny. Everything was a joke. Couldn't keep a straight face. He'd laugh with coach. Who was the coach that always gave a speech? He would Patrick Ewing. Never let Pat Ewing give a speech.
What you used to call
Never
Pat?
let Big Pat.
What you used to call him?
I'm not gonna say
Okay, all right. Don't say it.
Man, shout out to
OG Pat Ewing.
OG Patrick Ewing, man.
He-
I apologize, man. I was young as hell, man. I ain't know what I was doing, man.
Hold on.
But I
So
can also-
DJ about to put it on me when he's young as hell.
Yeah.
So when he was young as hell, yes. When I met Clean and your sister, I was like, he's one of the people that need to be with me. So when they threw the money at me when I came from Houston, that was a tough trade for me to even leave Houston. And tell Trace McGrady said, "What's up? Whatever. Big dog status." But when they traded you, homeboy, I was fucked up. When you came to Houston, I thought you was going, my kids, my daughter, my son, they call you every day, right?
Yeah.
They check on you to make sure Dwight is okay. So a part of my history about basketball is you, Akeem Olajuwon, and Yao Ming. So I played with 3 best centers in the world, champ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
3 best centers. So, of course, when I got traded, I called you, Dwight. They about to take me to New York.
Yeah.
I was like, Dwight, you got it.
was sad, man.
The only reason why I was upset because the same coach, Brian Hill, that did this shit with me in Vancouver, was a coach. Keyon, am I making it up?
No, you and B
got
Hill.
it.
Like
You already
one thing about B Hill
Keyon, you
is
remember that, Keyon?
Pikachu. Right?
So Bo,
Done.
you know, back
I'm
in
gonna
the
get him
day.
out of here.
Yeah, he did.
All right, we back live. We got two of our great teammates here, man. Just joining us, we got Keith Winnebago Bogan straight from Chip Topley in the building.
Chip Topley.
And we got Courtney Lee, my oldest, youngest rookie.
No, we was the same age when I
Well,
was
we
a rookie.
was the same age when he was a rookie, but it was my 8th year in the league.
Damn.
No, it was something like that.
That's all right, though. A delay is not a denial.
No, I was normal.
Absolutely.
I was a mutant.
Absolutely. So listen. So first of all, man, thank y'all for coming out, man. Like, remember, it's all about celebrating Dwight. Dwight is getting inducted into the Orlando Magic Hall of Fame.
Yep.
So big shout out to Dwight Howard.
Congrats, big fella.
Dwight, our life is better because you were in it. Seriously, our life is better because you were in it. You brought us so much joy.
Right.
Right? You had so much talent. You brought so much attention that a lot of our notoriety and our ability to play for, a long time is because we could throw it into you and go space, or we could cut, or we could play D and all those different things, right? So thank you, man, for being, like somebody who's helped all of us become who we are, right? Flawed and all, right? And so we got two of our former teammates, man, two of my favorite teammates, you know what I mean? Yeah. One of them, you know what I'm saying, is got the deepest voice maybe in the history of the NBA.
Outside of, what's the dude name, played Simba?
Mufasa ass boy.
yeah.
Mufasa and the
That's
voice
his
ass
little
boy.
brother.
And then Courtney Lee, man, somebody just who's a gem, right? The only time I've seen Courtney have like a bad stretch was when he got traded to the Nets. If you go back and look at that press conference, you would see.
I went from sugar to shit, bro.
You went from sugar to shit. I was there with you.
Yeah, bro.
So I remember that. I feel your pain on that.
No doubt.
But just real quick, man, like Court, let me go to Bogues first, because we big on seniority in the NBA.
Do your thing, bro.
And
Y'all
so
old as
he
hell.
had, he had some seniority on you. And so Bogues, like, just kind of give us a little rundown on like your time playing with Dwight, in that experience.
Yeah, I was, So Dwight, when he got drafted, he actually lived in my neighborhood. So I probably spent more time with Dwight than anybody, because after practice, I look across the street, he outside being a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. But kind of like Steve said, I got the chance to play with Yao Ming, but I got the chance to play with Dwight. And I tell people he was probably the best defensive, athletic big man I've ever played with.
Absolutely.
He made me, like you say, he made me better. I was able to
you
just
could pressure
get
a little
up
bit more.
and
You
play
could be
defense
a little
and not
physical.
care what happened at the basket, because I knew he had my back. And I think that's what brought our whole team. He made our team better, because he was like the anchor. He was the youngest kid, but he anchored the team down. So
Absolutely.
I think he was. He grew up fast. He had to grow up fast being around us. I mean, we was
Absolutely.
young.
We was
were
tough.
young too. We was tough.
We was tough on him.
We didn't give him no breaks. But I think, it was good for him. It was
It
good.
was
Me,
good
you,
for him.
Jameer. Who else was it? We had a group of guys.
OG, Bo Outlaw,
Tony
Tony
Petit.
Petit,
Tony
you know what I
Petit.
mean? Like,
Hey, Bo
Hidu
Outlaw.
and Rashawn,
Yeah,
Sweet
we had a
Lou,
lot-
all those
a lot of
guys.
guys.
Money! All right. If you just think about Bo Outlaw, what's one thing that popped in your mind as soon as you think of Bo?
Well, Big Shoulder Lou ankle ass boy, number one. Two, like,
Biggest shoulders, little legs, little ankles, ever, bro.
but here's what I think about Bo Outlaw, and I think he impacted all of our lives.
Yes.
Because like, man, he never had a bad day.
Never.
He always brought his motor. He always had fun. He was extremely professional.
Every
Bo
day.
Outlaw was a Swiss Army knife as far as like as a human being.
He was.
So I just thank God for Bo Outlaw. We're better because he was in our lives as well.
I agree, man.
So Bo's last question I'm gonna ask you in regards to your time with Dwight. Is there anything that stuck out to you, right? That you found like that you know what I mean? That you and Dwight like had to experience.
When he came in the league, we had never seen, nobody with shoulders like his size. So I used to always say, yo, what did they feed you? Like my joke was, they was
Country Georgia
They was
strong.
blending up Big Macs, putting it in the bottle. That's what I used to say back in the day.
Yeah.
But he was the most athletic like I had seen in my time when I was in the league, and to be that young and come in and dominate. I mean, I'd never seen nothing like it. I mean, he was
Absolutely.
one of the youngest guys that come in that I saw in my time in the league that came in and dominated from the time he stepped on. It wasn't a learning curve. He just stepped right in,
Right.
and just start going to work.
Yep. So, Court, like, you got to experience Dwight on a championship run, right? Y'all made it to the finals. We're not going to bring up anything from the finals, you know what I mean?
Man,
Any
it's
bad
an open
memories
book,
or
bro. It's all
anything
good.
like that,
Open book, dog.
right? But, you know what I mean? Even though you guys were, kind of the same age, he had more experience than you.
Yeah.
And so how was Dwight as a leader?
I mean, he was like Bogue said, bro. He was the leader of the team. He was the defensive anchor. He made everybody's life easier. Like Bogue said, you press up on your man, you get blown by. You're not getting in trouble by Stan because we funnel him to the white.
Yep,
Get that block, start to break. But as far as like Dwight being the leader, bro, it was kind of tricky for me. Like he said, we was the same age, but he's been in the league 8 years, and so I was eyes wide open. So whatever they said they had me do, I was doing it. But me and Dwight had a friendship because we would hang out outside of basketball.
Ooh, that was trouble.
And I was bugged out because we was the same age.
They was
but,
the same
you know what I
age.
mean?
Trouble.
Same
This
age.
is
Why was it
Superman's
trouble?
team, so I had to listen.
Huh?
Why was it trouble?
No, but Dwight now and Dwight
I won't go there.
middle career wasn't Dwight back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dwight was different back then, bro. He was motivating me not to be out past 10 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was
You know what
really trying to
get
be
into
a
get
good
into
vet, man.
get into the Bible and all
Yo,
that
he
stuff.
really used to
man.
go home and just play basketball.
No,
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
It was just
that
basketball.
Dwight.
It
Dave and
was only
Buster's and
basketball.
stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So-
David Buster's.
That was me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just Miami. Coach told us, he said, Miami will seduce you.
Don't let Miami seduce you.
And Miami, but man, I really appreciate the fact that I was able to play in these different type of eras, I would say.
Yeah.
You were older than me and him were the same age, but I've been in the league for a long time, so it's like I could relate to him. Mm-hmm. And then Keith is just like, I watched him play in college. Then we played on the same summer league team together where he was dominating summer league. So I learned so much from watching him because of his tenacity and his energy. Like, I did not know he was that good. I watched him in college, but then seeing him up close in summer league, it was totally different for me.
You make a good point, Dwight, because like you went through stages in your career, right? Mm-hmm. So when you initially came in, you wasn't the one option, right? You developed yourself and you became like that go-to guy. Mm-hmm. And then you went through different phases in your career, and when at the apex, in a sense, where you won your championship, you had to play a role.
Correct.
And that was probably different from the role that you played when we all was like, okay, let's find Dwight. Like, Dwight got it. Yeah. But then you had to come in and be a role player with the Lakers and things like that. Talk to us a little bit about, like, being a role player, going from being a superstar, right, to playing a role on the team. Was that a difficult transition?
It was.
I'm sure.
It was, because I never forget what Kurt Rambis said to me the first day I got to the Lakers. Mm-hmm. He said, "You're not Dwight Howard no more." And as a player, I'm like, damn, like, what are you saying? I'm not Dwight Howard. Like, I thought you wanted me to be Dwight Howard. I didn't know how to take that. I didn't know how to take them saying, you're not gonna get no shots. We just want you to do this. You might not play tonight. All these things that I was listening to, sometimes you, Keith, Tony Batiste.
Yeah, we
these
all
guys,
went through that.
Everybody was saying to me, I'm going through it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to handle it. But I said, let me just try to smile it through, try to have as much fun, keep my work going. But it was like the politics of it can get so, at this level, I finally saw how it was on every level.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like, and it really gave me a understanding of what every single one of my teammates have probably went through.
It teaches some humility, right?
It taught me so much. That's why he was like this that day. That's why he was upset coming into practice like this. I'm thinking, man, I got to go into practice with a smile on my face because that's what they teaching me. Mm-hmm. Like, come to work happy, come to work and talk to your teammates, do all this. I didn't understand until I got older and went through the experience of life to be like, hey, I got to go to practice. My body hurt today. I don't want to fool with these young boys.
Oh, young boys, when you was a young boy when I played with you.
Yeah, we all
You had
go
that
through
energy.
it.
You wasn't dancing then, huh?
But I still had the energy, but it was just like I say, the politics, it took away a lot of the joy for me.
Yeah, it does.
Not the game itself,
It's
but
the
the
politics.
politics, all the other stuff. It took away my joy and passion. So now I'm like, hey, this is why my teammates was saying these things, and they're not really excited like I am for games and stuff. But I'm like, man, I don't want this to steal my joy. Like,
Right.
this is why I came into this game, to have
Right.
fun. Like, now I'm like, this is stealing my whole joy. I don't want to do this no more. I want to be around it. I don't want to talk. I want to just disassociate everything I got away from basketball. And I'm like, why would I do that?
Well, you know what, Dwight? Like what I hear what you're saying, you might not recognize this, but from what I hear is that in those moments, you would come to practice early. You would go and lift after games. You would try and find ways, you know what I mean, to find that joy and bring people along with you.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the front office, they didn't appreciate it or value it, but you did that. So give yourself permission to say that, you know what, even in the midst of that storm, I still tried to find joy.
Yeah.
Next segue I want to do, man, is like, I'm not taped right now. I don't have on knee pads right now
What you
for
trying to
shoot
do?
around.
Oh, okay.
So I want to talk about
Oh, yeah.
Stan Van
Damn, bro.
Gundy, right?
Man, shout out to Stan, man.
Big shout out to
Man,
Stan. My
shout
favorite
out to
coach.
Stan, man.
Stan Van Gundy and Doc Rivers are my favorite
Shout out
coaches
to
of all
Stan.
time.
You said
And
Doc
I-
Rivers?
Yeah, shout out to Stan,
Yeah,
bro.
I enjoy Doc.
Doc Rivers, he talk like he smoked Lucy's all day, cigarettes all day.
Doc's got a voice. He got a
Because he smoked
voice.
cigarettes all day.
Doc don't smoke cigarettes.
Yes, he do.
Courtney might not feel the same way about Doc. But listen.
Man, listen, no bad blood, man.
Yeah,
no
but
bad
listen,
blood.
Stan Van Gundy, I believe, had a positive impact, and because he was so relentless, a lot of times we couldn't feel it in the moment. Right? Run, come on! Like all those different complaints he had about us and holding us accountable. Bose, he called you a shortcut guy one time.
Called me a shortcut.
Right? You know what I mean?
Definitely
Like
called
Stan
me a
has said some
shortcut guy.
things like, you know, to us all, like, Keyon, I just don't think you can make plays.
Do you think that looking back on it now, like he really was just so honest that we probably didn't know how to?
No, he told you what other people didn't want
Yeah.
to tell you. So
Yeah.
he'll tell you.
Yeah, I
what-
could take it.
Yeah.
Because I had been battle tested. I had already had coaches tell me that, like, you know, I had a coach tell me I wasn't good enough to play in the league. So I could take it. I respected his honesty. It wasn't like, it might have been the first truths you heard.
Yeah.
Because Stan wouldn't do a turn 5 for you. Stan would say, no, run pick and roll, then run to the rim. If you get it in the paint, you
Yeah.
get it. We're not giving you post-ups, run, rebound, right? You didn't want to
He
hear
was
that.
on my ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
But
held everybody accountable. man.
Turkaloo, Rashard Lewis, Jameer Nelson, all those guys, like Bose, anytime you got the ball in the corner, you could shoot the 3. Courtney, in those spaces that you could be productive, he would allow you to be productive. It's difficult for superstar players. Y'all have a different experience from everyone else.
Yeah.
So just talk a little bit about Stan Van Gundy and the impact that you have and the lessons that you learn retroactively.
Stan is the best coach I've had in the NBA.
Yeah, Stan is
I
the
gotta
man.
give him that
We love
credit.
you, Stan.
I got to give him that credit. And, you know, what he did for my game, what he did for me mentally, it really carried my whole life. And I didn't really understand it till I got away from the game. The effect that Stan had on me, because he had me so prepared for everything, the whole team.
Right.
Every play, every player, everything. And that's how it helped me tackle life. Everything I did in life was like that. Let me prepare for every part of my life, even the part that I might not use, but let me be prepared for
Right.
it. So I appreciate Stan for that. And you know,
We
when
all
you're
do.
young, you can't really see it.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at, you know, this man yelling at me all the time, telling me to do all this stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
young, dumb as hell. Run, let's go, Dwight. What are you
He
doing?
held
Shoot-arounds,
everybody
knee
accountable.
pads.
He did,
Held
and that's
every-
one
held
thing. That's
everybody
one thing that I
accountable.
really appreciate. And looking back on it, like that's what I needed. That's what we all needed, was an accountability partner, accountability coach.
Yeah.
Because without him, we wouldn't have went as far as we did, because he held us accountable every single day. You look at how teams are getting coached now and how they're practicing and all of their regiments. if they would have had a Stan Van Gundy, maybe it wouldn't be as many injuries.
Right.
Maybe it wouldn't be as the softness that it seemed like it's going around because he was tough as nails on us too.
He was. He was accountable.
He was tough as nails.
And you could
on
talk
us.
to him about it.
Yeah.
Or you go at him. He wouldn't get mad.
Yeah,
either.
like
You
he
I
go
would
at
didn't
take
him.
it
realize
personal.
that till I got. I mean, maybe because my big shouldered little ear butt didn't know back then. Really understand and listen to what he was saying.
Yeah.
But just to really go have conversations with him in the office, I want to say it's really difficult for somebody coming in at a young age to know how to talk to a coach, know what to say, know how to really express yourself. Like, who was I ever going to do that to?
I would prefer a hard truth over a pretty lie, and Stan would
Yes.
tell you the truth.
He would.
And so Dwight, like you're going into the Hall of Fame, the Orlando Magic Hall of Fame, right? And man, I saw you out in the community. I saw you embrace this city, but at the end, you know what I mean? Like it was a little tricky.
It was a lot of turmoil.
So just talk to us a little bit about like how does it feel to you to be inducted into the Orlando Magic Hall of Fame?
But I never thought it would happen. I really thought that it got so bad that we would never see each other, talk to each other again.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that really hurt.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, we had some of the best 8, 9 years ever.
I
All the stuff that happened with Orlando itself, going to the finals, the playoffs, going to the plane, and all the fans at the plane.
Yeah,
That was magical.
it was.
Seeing the new arena getting built, that whole process, playing in the finals against Kobe and them, just the whole atmosphere, like it's one of a kind to see how we transformed the whole city of Orlando.
We did.
Like that was just tough to see. Like everybody was a believer of our team. The whole world started to believe. Like this little team from Orlando, they packing a punch.
Right.
And everybody wanted to be a part of it. So like that was my fire. That was like, man. Then when all the BS happened,
It happened. But you live, you learn.
yeah,
You live, you learn, and you know what I mean? Like the good part about like our journeys is that if the young boys listen closely, if they take counsel to us OG vets, because the league has kind of like gotten rid of the vets,
yeah,
reach out to the OGs who've done it and things like that, so that history doesn't have to repeat itself, so you can know how to navigate it. Before I get you guys out of here, Bogues, Court, talk to Dwight. Tell your brother how it was to play with him, and talk to him about like how you guys feel about the Hall of Fame for him.
So for me to play with him, like I give you a lot of credit. I got credit for being a defender, but it was really you. I mean, it was really you.
Bogues, you was a good defender.
Nah,
We
he
had
was a
no, we
good
had a
defender, man.
trust factor. So I didn't realize this till I left Orlando and was pressing up and didn't have him behind me.
Yeah.
That's when I realized, I ain't had nobody to help me like you was. But what was I here? 1 year? We played 2 years? Was it two?
We did the summer league, and then you came back another.
Those 2 years that I was here, like to watch you and to say that I had the opportunity. My son was still amazed that I remember he was young, was like, you on Dwight Howard's team. And just to see my son that happy and just to experience that. And I would sit back sometimes and like, damn, I'm really playing with this big young motherfucker. Like, he really on my team. So, I mean, just the experience of that growing up, to actually say I was on your team and I got footage saying I played with you, man, that's special to me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you,
Appreciate
man.
it, bro.
Bogues, your son grown now, right?
Huh?
Your son grown now.
My son
ain't
21 now.
Damn.
21.
Is his voice as deep as yours?
Nah.
You know, ain't nobody in the world, boy, is deeper than Keith except God. He's the only one.
Big tongue ass boy. Go ahead. I ain't going back to my old
I'm
self.
gonna piggyback off Bogues, bro. It's like coming from college, bro. I was a scorer, but the only way that I could get on the court it was to play defense. And I got lucky that Petrus broke his wrist, so they threw me in the rotation to make sure the rotation didn't mess up, whatever. But from that first year, bro, playing with Dwight, bro, I got that reputation of being a defender.
Yeah.
And so I rode that wave my whole career as a 3-and-D guy. But really, like Bo said, bro, it was made our job easy. We know the calls, weak them, send them right, send them left, so you get up in them. And when he funneled down to the hole, he's going down to Dwight.
And watch that shit get smacked out of bounds.
Defensive player of the year, bro.
Trying to score over an eclipse.
That's what I'm saying. So he made our jobs a lot easier, bro. And so, I mean, I got to thank Big Fella for my whole career because I rode that wave and that reputation of being a 3 and D.
Yeah.
And luckily, I was smart enough to not get outside of myself. You know what I mean? So I'm like, listen, and this is what the game is changing to. So let me ride that wave.
And how many years did you play?
I played 13.
13. So like,
tough.
if you're a young fella out there listening, like embrace your role.
Yeah.
One of the best things you could do is learn how to play off a superstar, right?
Yeah,
because like it'll make your life better. It'll increase your reputation. It'll give you more humility. And so, Dwight, thank you, man, so much for all that you did for us. Come through real quick.
We got to give a shout out to D Miles. D Miles.
Big shout out to D Miles.
One of the first ever players from high school.
One of them, not
The
D.
top.
I think at the time D Miles was drafted, maybe the highest.
He was the highest drafted. The highest drafted.
You can say if you want to.
The first one behind him was
you can slide out.
Spencer Haywood.
We got Darius Miles in the building. Man, one of my former teammates, one of my favorite people on the planet. I love him. I respect him. I appreciate him. Before I go any further, you know, I want to give a big shout out to Above the Rim podcast and the BTN Beyond the Narrative.
Yes, sir.
For collaborating on this event. Big shout out to you guys. Go ahead and like and subscribe to those particular channels. We got Darius Miles up here from the Knuckleheads podcast. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to the number 3 podcast from what I just read the other day. You know what I mean? In the game, you know. So D Miles, thank you for joining.
The first.
The pioneers, the trailblazers.
The pioneers, the trailblazers of the whole NBA podcast game. One of my teammates and one of my high school.
That's right, Q Rich. Big shout out to Q Dog. Q Dog.
Q, you meant a lot to me as a teammate. You know, you was one of my vets. You was always in my ear, and you know, a lot of things you said to me, I couldn't hear you. I was so young, dumb, and just ignorant in a lot of ways. But you said a lot of great things that I still hear in my head today. All you guys did. And so thank you, man, for real.
Big shout out to Q Rich, man. We love you, Q. Always.
Also, you're doing a great job. You just signed with ESPN. So that is amazing. Keep doing it, man. You, again, one of the pioneers. Give a shout out to Q Rich.
So there's a thing called the 1% within the 1%. And that's you two. Straight out of high school, right? Straight out of East Boogie. You know what I mean? Me and D got drafted together. We both played for the Clippers together, and we go way back, man. We've been friends for a long time. I love him. He's my brother. I don't consider him a friend. I consider him a brother. How difficult is it to go straight from high school to the league, dog?
It's, on my part, I think it's super difficult because not only do you have the college guys saying that this high school kid is not as good as us, you got these NBA guys and be like, he's not as good to be coming straight out of high school and be coming on the level. So it's just a certain level that you got to prove, not only to yourself, but you're trying to prove it to the whole entire league. And everybody trying to prove that you're not good enough. Well, one thing I heard Jermaine O'Neal tell me this, and I think like this to this day, the league is like the Army. But when it comes to straight out of high school guys, they like the Navy SEALs and the Army.
That's big boy talk right there. I can't understand that.
From that, I want to say since KG came out, from then it was like this certain group of guys who came out, Hall of Famers, All-Stars, leading scorers, all that stuff. So it made me look at high school guys in a totally different light, like a brotherhood within the brotherhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Elite,
so that's why I'm so super proud for Dwight, man. Being a high school guy, knowing what he done went through, knowing the journey he had to go through to get to where he at, man. To see a high school guy to get Hall of Fame in anything when it comes to this league.
First ballot.
Get an all-star
First ballot.
anything.
Thunder.
You know what I'm
Straight
saying?
up now. We got to be.
Straight up. Like anything that,
you got to be.
Any achievement for a high
that.
school guy to get, I feel like it's a super big deal because that's what we got to deal with coming in. Like, I was with you and Q and all them, but I still felt like I had to prove to y'all, then prove to the league, then prove to everybody that I supposed to be.
You proved they wasn't to me. You ain't have to prove to me. So there's a new wave, right? We are retired now. We is not hooping. You is not verticality at the rim. You is not running full speed right to left anymore. You can. I didn't say you can. You know what I mean? We're going to do that in Taiwan. I'm a coach. But you guys have these personalities, right?
Yeah.
Knuckleheads has done really well in the podcasting space. Dwight above the rim, you know what I mean, is in the podcasting space.
Yes.
Myself, beyond the narrative, we're trying to create our little rhythm and things like that. And podcasting has given us a voice. Right? And so, for the next generation and the fans and things like that, talk to me about, Dwight, what podcasting does for you.
Well, I think what podcasting does for me is it gives people a chance to hear a different side of me when I talk. They get to see me in a different light besides basketball and what the narrative has been from media, social media, whatever. It's my opportunity to talk. So I think it's pretty cool. We never had opportunities before that to really say how we feel. We were constricted
to the media.
Because think about it, when we was playing, it was always y'all can't say nothing, keep it in. You know what I'm saying? If you say something, you can get fined, all this stuff. And then now it's like, shoot, we just want to tell what's going on because we done had all this stuff happen to us. We done went through all these different things. People have said whatever it is about us, have judged us, whatever. Now we got a chance to really talk it out and tell everybody how we really feel. A lot of my podcasts, we call it Above the Rim because I like to talk about high-level things outside of basketball. We played basketball for so long, and a lot of people just see us as basketball players. In my mind, I'm like, man, we are more than that. We are more than just a basketball player. This is what we did as a profession. This is our dream because we wanted to impact so many other people on the back end.
Right.
So for us to just be put in this box as a basketball player, it's always kind of, I didn't like that.
Right.
And then coming from high school, though, it also put me in a place of what's my true identity. I've been playing in the NBA for so long. Like, who am I outside of this? Everybody only know me for this. You know what I'm saying? Who am I? And, I think a lot of players, struggle with all these things.
Those
too.
identities, finding that next iteration, that next version of yourself.
Yeah. So I feel like if I was to talk to the younger generation, if I was to talk to the parents of these kids in the younger generation, I would tell them, hey, don't get caught up with just trying to chase this money. So many other things in life that we need to show and prepare our kids for. I think the preparation of life is more important than say, let's try to go get this bag.
Right.
Because I feel like for me, coming in with ignorant to money, to just the fame, all these different things, being ignorant to it, it kind of made people look at me kind of differently because they expect that I'm in the NBA, that I have all this money, that it comes with maturity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're looking at me like, man, you supposed to do this because you got this, but you supposed to make this decision like this.
Right.
And so, after you done playing, you sit back with all your decisions and you like, dang.
Yeah, man. It's a process, man.
It's a process.
So, man, two of my favorite scriptures, Thunder, and you can resonate with this, man, is that the race isn't given to the swift nor the battle to the strong, but he who endures to the end. In the game of life, man, you got to have endurance, stick-to-itiveness, right? You got to stay with that thing if you want to make it manifest. And the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So even in our failures, even in our flaws, even in our mistakes, there's lessons to be learned.
Like what podcast did for me, at first it was more like a therapy. You know what I'm saying? It was like therapy kind of releasing. A lot of people haven't never heard me talk or laugh or joke or even knew my personality at all. Then it became, how we was doing it, it became a responsibility. it was like a responsibility to my brothers to get these stories out. Like, yeah, it's a lot of guys. Everybody don't get the endorsement deal to be on TV with the Gatorade and all that. So we just wanted to not only show them guys that they're dope, but it's other guys that everybody else think is dope too, and let them show their story. We got similar stories. Could we come up in the circuit? So look, I done seen him in high school, or I done seen him in college, but it just came a responsibility to kind of tell everybody's story in a different way, and to bring for the retired guys, to bring an interview that their families can appreciate. Yes. Like, here's some of them stories from when they started all the way to the end that their kids might not have been alive when they was playing.
We get to tell our own stories
or they get the end of it. Yeah. So it became a responsibility that made me proud to be doing it. Because at first, I didn't want to do cameras and microphones. Straight East St. Louis dude. We don't do
East
no
Boogie.
We ain't doing no cameras and microphones. Like, I don't even say nothing on no cameras and microphone. But then, like I say, it became a responsibility where it made me proud to be doing these stories and tell you about the Larry Johnsons, the Rod Stricklands, the different characters. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And like, your best players, these are what Jeezy say, your favorite rapper.
Yeah.
Like, some of the best players that you see on TV, their favorite player might be a dude that you're not too fond of.
Right.
And I know that he was that nice.
Straight up.
When he was playing. You know what I'm saying? So to hear the BDs and the Steve franchises and all that stuff, they don't remember when these guys.
Bro, y'all
just
got
really
Kobe too. Like, y'all.
And I was a fan of the whole game in every position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what it do for me, it gave me therapy, and it made it like a responsibility to try to put these stories out here to be like, yeah, I know your favorite player, the ones they push the top 10 with the top 10 jersey, but it's about 25 other ones.
Absolutely.
That's just as nice.
Absolutely.
That get busy just as much. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And your favorite players that you rooting for, they trying to tell you like, yeah, dude right there, he bust my ass. I know he ain't the best
y'all
one,
first
but
question.
he bust my ass. But or he played defense on me just as nice. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
That's what it became for me.
Well, y'all have really been trailblazers, and like how we stand on everybody's shoulders as players, we're gonna stand on your shoulders as podcasters. So thank you for setting the track. You and Q Rich, Knuckleheads, like and subscribe.
Yeah, man.
Dwight, we got to close out. Our time has come to an end.
Oh, man,
But
you know what?
To the fans, what do you have to say about this Hall of Fame, and to the Orlando Magic fans? And we want you to kind of close us out, man. And
hold on, before you close out, I got one more thing to say. I got one thing that I'm mad at Dwight for.
Okay.
And I got one thing that I need him to do for
What
the
you
rest
need
of his
for
career.
him?
The first thing I'm mad about,
Come on.
He got her and we don't.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? I'm mad about
boy,
that.
That shit is
Like,
real.
I wish I still had my braids.
Boy,
I'm
I
mad
sure wish
about
these
that.
things
He
was
draping
spinning
over there.
I think
The
I sure wish they
second
was spinning.
thing, man, tell them folks every time they mention your name, they mention the champ and they mention the Hall of Fame before they say Dwight Howard.
Straight up.
Champion, Hall
Straight
of
up.
Famer Dwight
Straight
Howard.
up.
Every time they mention your shit. Every time. You know what I'm saying? Every time, bro.
Hey, that's
From
love.
now on
You
for the
that
rest
boy.
of your life,
You that
make
boy.
sure they mention that and you stop them in their tracks if they don't.
Straight
I
up.
need you
That's
to do
love.
that for me.
We
Yes,
love
sir.
you, champ.
Straight up.
We
Hey,
love you,
that's
Dwight.
real love, man. I just want to say shout out to every single one of my teammates who came up here today to support me in making it to the Hall of Fame. It means so much to me. I'm so appreciative for you guys. We had a long ride together, and to be able to still be alive and to see some of you guys, it means so much. I want to shout out to Keyon for helping me put this thing together. He's been there since my rookie days when I used to host Bible studies in my crib.
That's right.
All the way till now. So shout out to Keyon. Darius, thank you, man. I used to watch Darius in high school, you guys, and now I end up from his influence, I end up being an NBA player just like him. So you guys don't know how important just seeing people and the words that they have can impact you for the rest of your life. These two men have a big impact on my life, and not just through words, but their actions. D. Miles, I watched him growing in high school, and I'm like, I want to be him. I want to be on the big stage. I want to be dunking like him and smiling, running down the court. He from high school. I want to do that.
Yes,
when I
sir.
got here with Keyon, he was on me every day, but that's because he loved me and he wanted me to get somewhere in life. So if you got an ear to listen, if you alive, you can hear somebody who love you and they want the best for you, take your time, stop, breathe, and listen, because it could cost you or it could change your life. You just got finished watching the greatest podcast ever, Above the Rim with Dwight Howard, where we hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. I want to give a special shout out to all my Orlando Magic family. You guys mean so much to me. I know we've had some turmoil over the years because of some he say, she say, and some media.
Hey.
Guess what? I love y'all no matter what. I'm 10 toes down, Orlando all day. This is my first city that I played in. It's the last city that I won in. It's gonna always be that way. Love y'all, and we'll see y'all at the game tomorrow. Peace and love. Till next time.
Yes, sir.
Dwight Howard. Session chocolate. Session chocolate.
Airy on the narrative. Best in class, so pray for my peers. Slingshot bullet that's clear. Your weak shots couldn't pierce through bulletproof ears. A martyr, a menace. I'm leading horses to drink and pulling teeth like I'm feeding the dentist. Airy on the narrative.